As we've discussed, technology has moved us to an environment where there's an overwhelming amount of information and there's an overwhelming amount of connectivity. This opens the doors for data breaches from a variety of bad actors. I've used the term data breach several times. What is a data breach? Put simply, a data breach is a cybersecurity issue where information falls into the wrong hands. Even if the breach is contained and fixed, the cost to your business can be astronomical. For example, if customer purchase and personnel information is stolen, your customers may go shop somewhere else where they feel more comfortable. Recent events have proven that no one is safe from the threat of cybercrime, not large corporations, small businesses, startups, government agencies, or even presidential candidates. Small and medium-sized businesses are hit by 62% of all cyber attacks, about 4,000 attacks per day according to IBM. Cybercriminals target small businesses because they are an easy, soft target to penetrate. What can you do? Number one, you need to know your organization. You need to document your technical infrastructure and review and update your corporate policies. The time to figure out what your network looks like is not when you're trying to recover from an attack. It's going to make the situation infinitely more complicated and infinitely more difficult. Speaking of recovering from an attack, you need to have a plan. You need to ensure this plan addresses both the technical and the organizational elements of your company. For instance, what would you do if a large magnitude earthquake knocked out the power grid of the region that your corporate headquarters is located in the day you're doing payroll? How do you recover from that situation? You also need to establish relationships with regulators, law enforcement, and other necessary vendors. Because the first thing that you're going to want to do after an attack is seek help, remediate the situation, and get your operations up and running. The time to figure out who you need to work with to do all of those things is not while you're in the middle of a crisis. Knowing who to work with in advance will significantly improve your ability to respond, reconstruct, and rebuild your operations. So you have a plan. You've thought about your technical infrastructure, you've thought about your people, and you've thought about the different types of risk that could impact your operation. Now you need to test it, because this is going to help you identify any gaps you have in your planning assumptions, and it's also going to help you synchronize response operations across the different elements of your company. Most important thing you can do to protect your company against cyber threat is education. The more educated and cyber aware your employees are, the more difficult they will be to target. As we talked about cybersecurity, we talked about the fact that a risk to one is a risk to all. We discussed how an action of a single individual, numerous companies, and the federal government. The Defense Federal Acquisition Regulation Supplement 252.204-7012 directs defense government prime contractors and subcontractors that handle covered defense information, generated, stored, or transmitted on or through their systems and computer networks to be fully compliant with 110 security requirements specified in the National Institute of Standards and Technology Special Publication 800-171. This requirement helps to establish a common security baseline across the Department of Defense and the contractors upon whom we are so heavily reliant. I'd like to thank you for your time and for your interest in securing your networks and your systems. The information provided in this toolkit will prove to be an extremely valuable tool to you as you move forward in this endeavor.